The day the universe realized Earth was lying. Part 1. The silence that shouldn't exist. The universe is loud. Stars scream when they are born. Planets roar as they tear themselves apart. Civilizations chatter endlessly across the void. So when Earth went silent, it was noticed. Not immediately, not dramatically, just a quiet anomaly in a system no one truly cared about. A yellow star, 8 planets, one violent, unstable world crawling with carbon-based life. Humans. The galactic record. Earth was labeled centuries ago. Threat level, low. Stability, catastrophic. Technological maturity, inconsistent. Psychological profile, aggressive/fragmented. Humans fought themselves more than anyone else. They split their species into nations. They argued over invisible lines. They killed each other over ideas. No unified command, no singular purpose. To the galaxy, they were children playing with fire. The council that decided their fate. The Galactic Council convened above the star Virillion, a place where entire species had been judged, corrected, or erased. The chamber was vast, rotating slowly in artificial gravity. At its center floated Earth's hologram. Blue, fragile, deceptively calm. Humanity has violated Expansion Treaty 7 Alpha, the speaker announced. A towering being of living crystal tilted its head. They launched unmanned probes beyond their assigned region. A serpentine diplomat hissed softly. Again? Laughter echoed. Humans were notorious rule breakers, curious, stubborn, defiant. They ignored 3 warnings, the speaker continued. They dismantled listening arrays. They stopped responding entirely. A silence followed. Then a military representative spoke. "We recommend pacification protocol." No one objected. Why would they? Earth had no defense grid, no planetary shield, no standing interstellar fleet. It would be quick, merciful. The fleet that never returned. The pacification fleet entered Sol system in perfect formation. Thousands of ships, weapons charged but unused. Earth rotated peacefully below. No resistance, no orbital defense platforms, no countermeasures. Only quiet. "They're scared," one commander scoffed. "They finally learned their place." Then sensors picked something up. A transmission. Old tech, primitive frequencies. Audio only. The admiral allowed it through, amused. A human voice filled the bridge. Calm, tired, not afraid. "If you are hearing this, then we failed to convince you." The officers exchanged glances. This wasn't a surrender message. "We know how you see us, violent, divided, reckless." A breath. "That's because you only watched us when we were loud." The signal crackled. "You never stayed long enough to see what we do when we're quiet." Suddenly, every human satellite detonated, not violently, precisely. A chain reaction of silence. Earth went dark. The transmission ended with 6 final words. "Do not mistake silence for fear." The moment the universe should have run. The fleet moved in and vanished. No explosion, no wreckage, no escape pods. Just gone, as if the void had swallowed them whole. When scouts arrived weeks later, Earth was still there, cities intact, atmosphere stable, oceans blue. But there were no humans, no bodies, no ruins, no signs of evacuation. 8 billion lives erased. Self-extinction, the Council ruled. Case closed. Earth was reclassified. Status: dead world. And the galaxy exhaled.
Part 2. The First World That Screamed. The universe moved on. It always did. Empires rose, treaties were signed, borders redrawn. Earth became a footnote, another failed experiment of evolution. Until Car 9 screamed. The mining world that never missed a shift. Car 9 was efficient. No art, no culture worth mentioning, just endless industrial sprawl carved into an iron-rich moon. 37 billion tons of ore extracted annually. 3 species working in mechanical harmony. It had never known war, which is why no one was prepared when every signal died mid-sentence. Not faded, not jammed, cut. The emergency beacon activated automatically. One message, 8 seconds long. They're already inside. Static. Nothing else. The investigation fleet. A security task force was dispatched within hours. Veterans, heavily armed, overconfident. Their scans showed no orbital damage, no debris, no ships in low orbit. Car 9 looked untouched. As they descended, something felt wrong. No mining lasers, no traffic lanes, no heat signatures from habitation zones. The entire moon was cold. What they found on the surface. The landing party advanced through the primary excavation city. Machines stood frozen mid-task, a drilling arm still buried in rock. Cargo haulers stalled in perfect rows. Bodies lay where they had fallen. Not torn apart, not burned, just dropped. Faces frozen in confusion. No visible wounds. No sign of struggle. Toxic agent? One soldier whispered. The scanners said no. Air composition, normal. Radiation, normal. Pathogens, none detected. Then someone noticed the walls. Symbols carved deep into alloy and stone. A circle. Inside it, a human handprint. The footage that shook the council. Recovered surveillance footage played in the council chamber days later. Grainy, infrared. The miners were working when the lights flickered. Then, figures emerged from the shadows. Humanoid, unarmored. They moved wrong. Too smooth, too synchronized. Weapons fired. The bullets passed through shimmering distortions and struck nothing. The figures never ran, never spoke. One miner tried to scream. The footage froze on his face, and then cut. The council chamber was silent. No laughter this time. The word no one wanted to say. An ancient archivist finally spoke. Its voice trembled. "We have myths." The speaker turned. "Clarify." "Speak species that disappear and return changed. Screens lit up with forbidden records. Civilizations that went quiet centuries ago. All had one thing in common. They lived on death worlds, planets where survival required constant adaptation. Predators, disasters, unstable climates. Earth was one of them. They didn't evolve for peace, the archivist whispered. They evolved for endurance. The second disappearance. Before defenses could be raised, another system fell, a diplomatic hub. Then a military staging world. Each time, no warning, no battle, no survivors. Only the symbol. The blue circle. The hand. Fear spread faster than light. Trade routes collapsed. Entire sectors went dark voluntarily. No one wanted attention. The first human capture. It happened by accident. A patrol ambushed a lone figure on an abandoned station. Energy nets activated, space-time stabilizers engaged. For the first time, a human was contained. They expected rage, resistance. Instead, the human stood calmly inside the field. No armor, no visible weapons, just eyes. Dark, focused, watching. "Why are you doing this?" the interrogator demanded. The human tilted its head. "You already decided we were dead." Pause. "We simply agreed and acted accordingly." The line that changed everything. The interrogator scoffed. "You can't fight the entire galaxy." The human smiled. Not cruelly, sadly. "We're not fighting you." A beat. "We're ending the part where you get to choose." All the lights in the station went out. The containment field collapsed. The human was gone.
The first star didn't explode. That was what terrified everyone. It simply dimmed. The night that shouldn't have been possible. The system of Velnara was ancient. Its star had burned steadily for billions of years, stable, predictable, eternal. Until one cycle, observatories recorded something impossible. Luminosity drop, 0.03%. Insignificant. Then 1%. Then 12%. Within hours, the star was no longer producing enough energy to sustain its planets. Ice spread across oceans. Atmospheres collapsed. Civilizations froze mid-sentence. No debris, no radiation spike, just darkness. Astrophysicists across the galaxy screamed the same word: controlled. The technology no one had a name for. Analysis showed artificial gravitational shearing at the star's core. Something had reached inside a sun and told it to stop. Not violently, precisely. "This isn't a weapon," one scientist whispered. "It's a switch." Human technology wasn't destroying stars. It was turning them off. Panic goes superluminal. Messages flooded the council. Empires demanding answers, worlds begging for protection, military coalitions forming and collapsing in the same breath. Entire sectors declared neutrality overnight, not because they believed in peace, but because peace was suddenly the only thing keeping them alive. The map that shrank. A live star map hovered in the council chamber. Dots vanished, not randomly, strategically. Trade hubs, military cores, industrial centers. never population worlds, never civilian capitals. They're avoiding genocide, the speaker realized. The archivist's voice shook. No, they're avoiding waste. The first surrender. The empire of Threx had ruled 700 systems through terror alone. Their fleets were legendary. Their response was immediate. A broadcast, galaxy-wide. The Threx Emperor kneeled on screen. He said, "We surrender, unconditionally." No demands, no negotiation. Within seconds, the star dimming near Threx space stopped. Power returned. The message was clear. Submission meant survival. The question no one dared ask. If humans could end stars, why hadn't they already ended everything? The answer arrived in the form of another transmission, the human broadcast. It interrupted every channel. Again, a different human this time, younger, eyes sharp. "We see your fear," she said. Images appeared behind her, human colonies, hidden in deep space, wrapped in gravitational cloaks, children laughing, people living quietly. "You think this is revenge?" She shook her head. "It's containment." A pause. "We don't want your worlds." Stars continued dimming, slowly, deliberately. "We want you to stop expanding." Silence. "Stay where you are. Stop classifying life like property." Her eyes hardened. "And never, ever decide another species' fate again." The signal tut. The galaxy split. Some listened, others didn't. The last offensive. A coalition of old empires launched everything they had. Thousands of fleets, experimental weapons, reality-tearing armaments. They struck where they believed humanity was weakest. Empty space. That's where the humans had been waiting. The battle that wasn't. There was no exchange of fire. Human vessels didn't dodge, didn't flee. They simply weren't where they appeared to be. Reality folded. Coalition fleets fired into echoes. Then their power cores shut down, simultaneously. Every ship went dead, drifting, alive, untouched. Human ships vanished, leaving the fleets stranded in silence. An echo echoed on internal channels. "This is your warning. Next time, we won't leave life support on." The universe understood. The galaxy finally grasped the truth. Humanity didn't conquer, didn't rule, didn't dominate. They controlled escalation itself, and they were better at it than anyone who had ever lived. Part 5. Why Humans Never Wanted the Stars. For the first time since the stars began going dark, the universe was quiet. Not the panicked silence of fear, but the heavy silence of listening. The question that kept returning. Across surrendered empires and hidden neutral worlds, the same question echoed. Why? Why didn't humans conquer? Why didn't they rule? Why go to such impossible lengths just to make the galaxy stop? The answer wasn't found in weapons. It was found in Earth, the planet that broke them and built them. Earth had never been kind. It drowned cities, shattered continents, burned forests to ash. It gave humans predators faster than them, diseases smarter than them, winters colder than mercy. And humans adapted, not because they were strong, but because they remembered pain. They built shelters, then laws, then stories. Every disaster etched one lesson into their collective memory. Survival is temporary. Kindness is a choice. The great human argument. When humans reached the stars, they argued, endlessly. Some wanted expansion, others wanted isolation, many wanted empire. But one memory haunted them all: their own history. Colonization, exploitation, erasure. They had done it to each other. They refused to do it to the universe. The decision that divided humanity. The archives revealed a moment never meant to be seen. A human assembly, not a government, not a council, just representatives of colonies, habitats, and worlds. Ordinary people, voting. The question was simple. What do we become when no one can stop us? The answer wasn't unanimous, but it was final. Earth as a symbol. They chose Earth to die. Not literally, symbolically. They let the galaxy believe it was empty, because Earth was their reminder of where they came from, of what unchecked power looked like, of mistakes written in blood. Earth became a ghost, a warning even to themselves. The philosophy of quiet horizon. Humans didn't believe peace was natural. They believed peace was maintained, not through fear, but through consequences so precise that violence became pointless. If someone raises a fist, one human philosopher wrote, remove the reason for the fist to exist. No speeches, no threats, just removal of capability. The children who never learned hatred. Hidden colonies were shown in intercepted broadcasts. Children growing up under artificial stars, learning languages from dozens of species. History lessons focused not on victories, but on failures. This is what we did wrong, teachers said. Remember it. Humans didn't want rulers. They wanted caretakers. The council's final debate. The archivist answered quietly, because they know what it's like to be at the mercy of something stronger. The speaker closed their eyes, and they hated it. The offer. A new transmission arrived. No threat, no interruption, just an invitation. We are not your leaders, the human voice said. We don't want your loyalty. Stars appeared, reactivated, slowly, carefully. We will watch the borders. We will stop extinctions. A pause. But your choices are still your own. The line that broke the galaxy's pride. The final words were simple, almost gentle. We are not gods. A breath. We're just the species that survived being powerless and refused to forget how it felt.
Part 6. The species that refused to listen. Music low, tense, a sense that something ancient is waking up. Peace never lasts in a universe built on pride. While most civilizations surrendered, one species watched quietly and smiled. The observers beyond time. They called themselves the Veil. They did not rule territory, they ruled influence. Older than most stars, smarter than most machines. They had watched empires rise and fall long before humans learned fire. And they had one unbreakable belief. No species should ever be allowed to become a final authority. Not even humans, especially not humans. The trap. The Veil didn't attack openly. They never did. Instead, they sent messages. False human transmissions, forged symbols, fake blue circles burned into innocent worlds. Entire planets were framed. Entire mass panic followed. Civilizations turned on each other, believing humanity had betrayed its promise. Trade wars ignited. Civil wars erupted. Refugee systems collapsed. The galaxy began to burn without a single human ship firing a shot. The first human mistake.
Humans waited too long because they believed logic would prevail, because they underestimated fear. By the time the truth surfaced, billions were dead, not by human hands, but blamed on them. The Council's death. The veil struck openly at last. The Galactic Council chamber was erased in a single moment, not destroyed, removed, a clean absence in space. A message echoed across the void. Balance must be restored. The human response. For the first time, humanity did not send a warning. Every hidden fleet activated at once. Not thousands, millions, from dark matter shadows, from folded space, from places the universe didn't know could exist. For the first time in galactic history, humanity went loud. The confrontation. A human envoy appeared before the veil. No weapon visible, just a voice carried across dimensions. You could have talked to us. The veil answered as one. You were becoming gods. The human nodded. So you chose genocide by proxy. Silence. Then the human spoke the sentence that would echo forever. You didn't fear our power. A pause. You feared our restraint. The war that lasted 7 minutes. There was no grand battle, no heroic charge. Humanity activated quiet horizon, final phase. Veil infrastructure collapsed simultaneously across realities. Their predictive engines gone, their temporal anchors shut down, their collective consciousness fragmented. The veil experienced fear for the first time. Stop, they transmitted. Humanity replied with a single sentence. This is us listening, one last time. 7 minutes later, the veil ceased to exist. Not exterminated, disconnected, separated into individuals, mortal, alone. The aftermath. The galaxy held its breath. Humans deactivated half their fleets immediately. Stars were restored. Aid ships followed. Food, medical technology, terraforming assistance. No punishment, no tribute, only repair. The final message. A child's voice, human, was broadcast across the galaxy. Not a leader, not a soldier, a student. She said softly, "We learned something on Earth." Images appeared, oceans, forests, storms. Power doesn't make you right. A pause. Listening does. Epilogue. Earth. Centuries later, a ship returned to Seoul. Earth bloomed again. Cities rebuilt, slowly, carefully. Not as a capital, but as a memorial. A living reminder of a dangerous truth. The universe wasn't saved by kindness. It was saved by a species that survived hell and chose not to turn heaven into one.